Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Rant Havok. Tonight's episode, Stan Lee. We're going to talk about the man. We're going to talk about the events. We're going to talk about the legacy.
Hi, heroes. This is Stan Lee coming at you.
What's up, guys? You heard the teaser. Let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend.
December 28th, Stan Lee's 100th birthday. Now, whether you're a Marvel fanboy, whether you're a DC fanboy, you have to, at the very least, thank the man for all of the hard work that he put in creating a universe that we could all enjoy. Did he do everything in Marvel? No. He's the co-creator of Marvel. He's the amazing Stan the Man. But he also worked for DC, so there's something to talk about there.
He redesigned some characters for DC.
Yeah, I know he did If I Had Created, where he did Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, and The Flash, I think.
Not everything is going to be gold, but most of it.
So I have read If I Created Superman.
Yeah, that was kind of weird, him being a space cop.
I liked it. I thought it was a unique take. He basically made the Kryptonians into the Green Lantern Corps, but hey, it happened.
The Kryptonian Corps.
Exactly. There's only so many ideas in the universe.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why there's 5 million Superman clones. Anyway.
I need to actually sit down and make that into a listicle video and then do voiceover for it because it'll be fun. I'll list the top 10 best and worst ones.
Back to Stan Lee, though.
Back to the man.
Because
Stan was really an interesting guy. Like it's really unique to be able to have been in a life where Stan was the most important figure at Marvel then when Marvel disowned him for a while, and then for him to reappear and resurge back through the MCU.
And the funny thing is, they could still keep him there, but
I just want a picture of him.
Yeah.
Make it a game. Find Stan.
Just think of it this way, though. His arguably most popular character, and that was terrible wording on my part, but whatever, was going to be a throwaway character. The book's going to be canceled. Let's just put that spider guy in there.
Yeah.
So many years later.
Oh, no, Amazing Fantasy is going to be canceled. Here, Stan, why don't you do something with it?
Can you believe
I love that
it's been since 1962, and Spider-Man's still going strong.
And Peter's still in his early 20s?
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe that Stan Lee wasn't the original editor-in-chief of Marvel.
Wasn't he a copy boy?
He was a copy boy for All American Comics in the 40s after World War II. During World War II, he worked in the recon division of the Army.
He wanted to write the great American novel, and, well, he arguably made something with a more lasting legacy.
I mean, comic books are the great American medium. Think about it. Every country does movies, does TV, does radio, does music, but only really America is very heavily invested in comics. In 1,000 years, the mythology of the world is going to be Superman, Batman, Iron Man, Captain America.
I mean, yeah.
And Stan Lee's responsible for the majority of the Marvel ones. Yes, he co-created them with Steve Ditko and Jack Kirby. And a lot of people like to use that as an excuse to kind of crap all over Stan's name. Because, no, he didn't want to give Jack Kirby the credit, blah, 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 blah. When, in reality, the only person who knows what happened between Stan and Jack to make that happen were Stan and Jack. I don't think Stan purposely wanted to keep money out of Jack's family, or away from Jack's family. But am I the one that's going to know? No, I'm not going to sit here and canonize Stan Lee, tell everyone that he was a saint, because if you read some of the stuff that he was into in the 70s and 80s, you can't really say that.
Well, not only that, he was a person. No person is. Even people they consider saints. Let's face it, they have some demons.
Yeah, Stan was only human, but he was an amazing human.
No, he was
So,
a watcher.
Do you have a favorite memory of Stan?
Not really of Stan. I have a regret, though. I suspect it's similar to yours. Comic-Con.
Yes.
Not going to see him because we saw the line was super long and we didn't think we'd get into the building.
Did you see the estimate on it? The estimate was a 4.5 hour wait time.
Uh-huh.
At that point, you just feel bad for Stan.
Well, I'm also talking about the panel, though. I would have been okay with just the panel.
There was no way we would have gotten into that panel.
Oh, yeah.
People were locked from the day before.
There were like 4 times as many people trying to get into the panel than would sit it. And I think that ballroom would hold, 5,000 people?
No, that ballroom that it was in, I think, was a 1,200 person auditorium in the Phoenix Convention Center. And it was at standing room only capacity, and they were still letting people in. That was one of the times the fire alarm went off that year, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a favorite memory of Stan. So way back in the ye olde early 90s, 1993, there used to be the Marvel Power Hour on Fox Kids. And it was, the animated X-Men, animated Iron Man, the Incredible Hulk. It was a different variation of those guys every day. And at the end of it, there was a little 5-minute segment called Stan's Soapbox. Years after that, because I was a wee lad of 4 in 1993, years later, I found VHS copies of the animated X-Men series. And at the end of each copy, because there was 2 episodes on the copy, at the end of each copy was one of Stan's soapboxes. And one of the soapboxes was about bullying. Now, at the time that I found this, I was a real piece of shit. Let's just be honest. I was a piece of shit. I was a bully. I was not a good person. And I sat down and I watched these episodes of the animated X-Men. And I was like, yeah, I love the X-Men. I love comic books. Woo! And then Stan's soapbox came on. And Stan had this message where no matter where you are in life, there's always somebody who's got it better than you, and there's always someone who's got it worse than you. So what is the point of taking it out on anybody else? I'm going to have to find that episode of Stan's Soapbox because he worded it so eloquently and so well that I had no real way to process it other than to change. And I feel like that set a core part of my personality.
I could see that. He definitely did have a kind of a way with words. I remember reading the soapbox in some of the comics.
The Stan Soapbox comics were a thing of beauty. Stan had just this way with words that I don't think really anyone else right now has. He was eloquent without using words that were too big for everybody to understand, but got the point across the same way.
Yeah, when it comes to Stan when he's talking, I really do think that if he was to use his way with words, he probably could have written that novel that he always wanted to do.
Yeah, that great American novel would have been a real good thing to get from Stan. Instead, we got an entire new form of media that just is still going strong to this day.
If it wasn't for Marvel, I think the superhero genre would have died off.
It's really the old saying of, iron sharpens iron. Because you had Marvel, you had DC, they were direct competitors against each other. And with that competition, that's what bred the innovation of the comics industry. Marvel puts out the Doom Patrol. Oh, no, DC puts out the Doom Patrol. And Marvel responds, oh, hey, well, Stan, we need a family comic. Okay, here's the Fantastic Four. Created with Jack Kirby. Worked together. They had an amazing run for the first, I believe, 60 issues before they handed it off to somebody else to be done. DC has Wonder Woman. They bring Wonder Woman to the forefront. Hey, Dan, we need a godlike character. Okay, well, I really liked Thor growing up. Again, worked with Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko on that one. Stan, we need something that'll relate to kids. Oh, well, we've got this amazing fantasy that's being canceled. Let's try this spider character.
We need a very, very strong guy. Oh, well, let's just pull this big green mutant guy that gets angry at things, but really doesn't want to hurt people.
I love that Stan was so willing to like represent kind of minoritized groups in his stories. Spider-Man, he was a nerd. He was a wallflower. He wasn't anybody you would expect who would have the courage to be a superhero.
And wasn't rich like DC characters.
DC loves giving their people money. Stan was like, here's Iron Man. He's my one rich guy.
I mean, that is his superpower.
Superpower is I've got all the money. Even Charles Xavier, Xavier comes from old money, but he's not rich.
Yeah, he's got the money, but not the income.
He's got like this old world, old money wealth that's accumulated in his building that he just like build jets. X-Men is the perfect one to actually talk about when you're talking about representing minoritized people. It was a group of freaks. Like, yes, it was done along the same, very much the same kind of freak of the week thing that Doom Patrol was doing at the same time. But Stan made it a bigger thing. Doom Patrol was, oh, we hate you because you're ugly and weird. X-Men was, oh, we hate you because you're different. And it really, considering the time frame that it was made, was really a torchbearer for what could have been, or what it could have been a torchbearer for the civil rights movement.
Well, I mean, it did come out in the 60s. Apparently I can't talk. And that's with a lot of the big civil rights movements were.
I mean, when they redid it in the 70s and they relaunched it with all new X-Men, it went even further because all new X-Men, number one, have Colossus, a Russian superhero, during the height of the Cold War. All right, got your favorite movie appearance of Stan Lee.
I'll be honest with you. It's the one where he plays himself.
Which one?
Oh, wait. I was thinking about Miss Marvel, but really, he also played himself in Mallrats.
He played himself in almost all of them. I think the only one where he wasn't himself was in Fantastic Four when he was the mailman.
No, I thought he also was the delivery guy looking for Mr. Stank.
Yeah, but he was still credited as himself.
All right.
In Fantastic Four, he actually was playing a character that he created, who is the mailman for the Baxter Building. It's wild, right?
Well, just remember, he's officially a Watcher, or at least if the Watchers are interested in him.
He works for the Watchers. I think my favorite movie appearance for Stan is in Spider-Man 2, where he gives Peter the speech about, maybe one person can make a difference.
What about his appearance in Into the Spider-Verse? Showing that suit fits eventually.
Eventually they all do. I will, full disclosure, I cried at that sequence. Because that movie came out right after we lost Stan. And I genuinely miss Stan more than I miss a lot of people that I was actually related to.
Do you know what got me? I was
What?
playing the Spider-Man for PS4, or was it Miles Morales for PS4? I don't remember which one it was. And I was swinging through New York, and all of a sudden I came across a statue of Stan.
That's going to be Miles, because I've 100%ed Spider-Man, and I never found the statue.
Yeah, 100%ed it and the DLC, but let's put it this way. Miles Morales is essentially, should have been DLC. It was way too short of a game.
You know, Stan loved the idea of Miles. Stan was, remember reading like a post-it or something that Stan did online. And he said that the Miles Morales concept was beautiful to him because it was the perfect execution of a new character taking over an existing mantle. And it was something he wished that he had done in comics before, was that someone else had retired as a character and helped train up their replacement.
Although, I mean, that didn't happen originally.
No, but he said that that was what he always wanted out of Batman and Robin, was for Robin to replace Batman.
I mean, in some continuity, it happened.
All right. Closing thoughts on Stan. Stan Lee, despite being just a man, had such a profound effect on so many people's lives that you really have to say he wasn't just Stan Lee. He was Stan the man.
He was.
You got anything else you want to say, Scott?
Excelsior.
Excelsior. Stay safe.
Where's the stop button again? I'm kidding. I know where it is. See you guys later.